guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Title supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last-minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited-time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. Darren Till versus Duplessis. Now, guys, I wasn't looking to be a skunk at the garden party, but I had a very strong feeling that fight was never going to happen. As soon as I heard that fight, I thought that fight's never going to happen. Now, I documented it. I just came and told you guys that. I don't know. I predicted a fight would fall apart many years ago. Jon Jones versus Rumble Johnson. And I was doing a Reddit. And Reddit was kind of new at the time, at least new to me, and they had something on there called an AMA, Ask Me Anything. They get set up by the UFC, and I'm told that it's huge, and this is a major meeting place of the internet. I said, hey, but Chael, there's one rule. When you do an AMA, they can ask anything, and you must answer it truthfully. Now, I don't know if that's a rule on AMA. I don't know if anybody abided by that but me, but I share that story with you. I remember the gal, Jen Wink, when she told me that, and I remember going, okay, that's the deal. If I agree to do this and I get the attention that apparently it can bring because I was told it was a big, this is my obligation, and I honored it. And at any rate, while I was sitting there and doing it, Jones versus Rumble got announced. And so they asked me right away, what do you think of this? And I answered the question honestly, which was, I don't think it will happen. I apologize. I did not hedge. I said Rumble versus Jones won't happen. Now, it's a gut feeling. But I've never had that feeling since. Until I saw Till versus Duplessis. Now, I could go into that for a number of reasons as to why I feel that. But Till has come out today, and I guess it's an injury. I guess. I don't know what to make of it. His eye is red. Now, it's not bleeding. It doesn't have stitches. It's not shut. His eye is red. And it looked like he'd been poked in it, if I were to guess. And he took the picture and he released the picture on the internet. Why? I don't want to be a dick about this. By the way, I find the skills of Darren Till to be world champion caliber. I do not believe he's got a deficit on the ground either. Much like, and I could compare him to Shabazian, he has one position, and a lot of us do, and you try to avoid the position. And you could get him in the gym and show him how to just avoid that position. I'm just sharing with you. I think Darren Till is world champion quality. And when I see Darren Till in the gym, so now there's no pressure. There's no lights. There's no cameras. I see one of the best fighters in the division. That's truly what I see. Who, by the way, has covered the spread at 2 divisions. Really special fighter, right? But I do believe mentally, things change for him on fight night. Now, I'm just breaking down. Why would you release that photo? Okay, when you go to Twitter to tell a story, you got 160 characters or less. But you guys know the old expression, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So we posted a picture. What 1,000 words was he attempting to tell us? Is it a recent photo? I mean, let's start with that. How accurate of information are we getting in the story that's attempting to be told? I know guys who have taken old photos and posted them, and they got like a little pop on the media. Oh my God, what's going on? Is this fight off? And then they come in days later like, oh God, I had no idea you would think that. That's just an old photo and I thought I posted. Right? They knew what they were doing. They were trolling. It was low-hanging fruit. They're not great promoters. They did something. I know guys that have done that, but those guys were main events. This is a fight on the card. That fight happens, that fight doesn't happen. What difference does it make? In fairness, rude, very rude by me. What difference does it make? And if I'm attempting to break a guy down, not for his physical attributes, but because of his psychology, if I'm attempting to do that, I'm going to look at something like this and I'm going to go, what kind of arrogance are we dealing with here? Do you think for the 4 or 5 people that see that and think that somehow that is fight ending for a fight that's 2 weeks away? What story are you telling? Perhaps it has nothing to do with the fight. Perhaps I'm completely wrong. But don't be mad at me for interpreting it. It was left for interpretation. Perhaps I am completely wrong. Had nothing to do with it and just wanted the world to know that he can't block a punch. Is there a good side to this? Like seeing that, was there a good side to this? Is there like a market out there for a fighter with a black eye that I don't know about? I'm open to it. Or is the groundwork of a story being told being laid? Why would you post the picture? What story are you trying to tell? And I've seen guys do this. I mean, in all fairness, I have seen a lot of guys miss fights, and so have you. And then all of a sudden, like an X-ray appears. Do you know how weird that is? I mean, I just share that with you. If I ever pull out of a fight, which I've been competing since I was 9 years old, I have never pulled out of a competition. Never. I'm very proud of that. That's why I mentioned that for. I'm very proud of that. But if I did, if I had to miss because I got X, Y, or Z, it's never even going to cross my mind that you don't believe me. I mean, truly, if I told you guys I've separated my shoulder, it would never cross my mind to have a note from a doctor and produce it for you, to provide an MRI. I mean, it wouldn't even enter my head. Old police trick. You got a few suspects. You don't know who did it, but you got these 3 guys, and they were leaving the crime scene. They got identified. Just go grab all 3 of them. Bring them in for questioning. Whichever guy offers his alibi before he's asked for it. Before they say, where were you at 8 p.m.? And he gets in the question room and goes, hey, guy, I was at a movie theater, and I went alone. I don't have the ticket stub, but it was down there on 4th Street. Got your guy. I would never think to show you or to back up a claim that I made about a personal injury with proof. But I see guys do it. And they're not wrong. And sometimes it's really interesting. And sometimes Dr. Bossy will take a look at it and kind of tell them what they can expect. But where would that come from if somebody didn't ask? And by the way, if it's my Twitter feed and I'm telling you guys and you guys are challenging me, what are you following me for? I mean, if you're questioning me, what are you following me for? If you can't even trust a guy, I just wonder what story was being told. Hey guys, look at me, I get hit. I watched this guy go on a dating show and somehow he thought this was cute. Now, I was only a little kid. I'm 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't know the ways of the world, but this guy goes on a dating show and he talks about martial arts. And he's trying to get the girl. And he's telling the story about martial arts. And the host says, and I'm told that you did a karate match against a girl. Can you tell me about that? And he somehow thinks it's charming. He was a handsome guy and he said it with like a boyish smile and wearing a tank top, kind of had some muscle. And he said, actually, I lost. I have not the foggiest idea. As a 9-year-old boy that didn't know anything about the world, I don't have the foggiest idea to this day why he thought that would be a cool thing to go and say on TV to the world what cuteness that was going to do. I just don't know. And when it was time to pick who they wanted to date, the girl that spoke on him said no. She's like, I'd like to feel safe. I can't go out with a guy that gets beat up by girls. I like to feel safe when I go out. I just thought it was a fair point. I've remembered it, so I'm only sharing for you, right? If I get my ass kicked, I keep that to myself. If I'm looking to tell a story to you about getting my ass kicked, why am I doing that? And if I'm just trolling you just to dangle the fact that maybe I won't show up because I got poked in the eye, you're not the main event, man. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter. So at what point are we separated from our reality? That's a tough thing for a fighter. I'll tell you what. Really hard thing. They get some shine, they get some spotlight, they disappear for 2 years, they pop back in, they think people are going to know. They don't. It's a reality. But really think about that, right? Like, what if you had a magic wand? You were the most famous guy in the sport, and you had a magic, would you keep that power for 5 years after you left the sport? Or would you hope to pass it to somebody else? Somebody passed it to you. On your way out the door, you pass it to someone else. And that son of a bitch had better do the same thing. And it's called an industry, and it's called a brotherhood, and it's the right thing to do. Now, the good news is they don't have a magic wand and they don't get to choose. You guys do, and if you're not on camera often doing well, you're out of the club. I mean, right, this is the way it works. Some guys don't understand that. It's a very peculiar concept. Why did he send out the photo? Who punched him in the eye? Why wasn't he wearing headgear? What story is he trying to tell? There's not a commission in the world that'll stop a fight because you got a red eye. I'm just sharing with you. I wake up some mornings with red eye. I'm just sharing with you. What is it we're trying to tell? I'm not good at ducking. I got partners that go too hard. Look at my eye. See you soon. I'm open to being wrong, but I'm asking. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Here's the picture. You're open to interpret it. How are you interpreting it?